Two national televised games Saturday in the NBA. Game threes continue, and we've got a pair of them here on ABC National TV. Going to look at Celtics, Knicks, and Timberwolves, Warriors. Free plays, free picks, sides, totals, player props. All I can give you here free coming up right here, right now. Hi, this is Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, right back here on WagerTalk TV. And boy, to say games 1 and 2 were bizarre in Boston would be an understatement. Celtics blew 20-point leads in both games. Failed not only to cover, but failed to win outright, despite leading 81 minutes to 12. That's right, 81 minutes to 12 they've led in the two games so far. They've had 20-point leads in both games. Knicks have never led by more than 6 in the entire series in either game. Yet Boston finds themselves down 0-2. The reason? Well, there's a few reasons. Obviously, the Celtics live and die by the three-point shot. They've hit exactly 25% in each game so far from three. But what is more frustrating, considering we had the Celtics in games 1 and 2, is that they continued to shoot threes when up 20. Come on, let's play smart basketball. And in all seriousness, I think Joe Mazzulla should be fired. Comment below, should Mazzulla be fired as the head coach? And I'm not somebody that normally says that. You guys have followed me for a while now, and I don't get on my soapbox. But when you allow your team to consider play playground basketball with a 20-point lead, especially when it burnt you in game 1, I think you got to make a statement. They get bumped in this series, which, right now it's around 50-50 they're going to win the series or not. Talk more about that, by the way, in a moment. But I'm not sure he'll be back if they lose this series. So why not get rid of him now and spark the team? By the way, the adjusted series price after game 2 was pick'em. Boston's now like minus 125. So the betting markets are saying there's about a 53% chance that the Celtics still come back and win 4 of the next 5 games. And I do think it starts here in game 3 on Saturday afternoon at 3:30 Eastern. I do like the Celtics minus the 5.5. If they shoot anywhere near their norm from three-point range, they are the better team. And keep in mind, it's not like New York has a matchup edge on the Celtics. In fact, headed into this, Boston had won 8 out of the previous 9 straight up and against the spread. Once again, they're 8-1 straight up, 20-point leads in games 1 and 2. They should be 10-1 straight up right now. I think they'll play smarter, and being on the road actually might be a good reset for them. Now, we have seen some recent history where this has played out. 2 years ago, Celtics, of course, won the world title last year, but they lost the Eastern Conference Final 2 years ago against the 8-seed Miami Heat because they blew 12 and 13-point leads in games 1 and 2 at home, dropped them both, and then got blown out in game 3, lost by 26 at Miami in game 3. So this is not a slam dunk, no pun intended. But if you recall, Boston came back to win the next 3. Games 4 and 5, they shot over 40% from 3. They squeaked out a game 6 win and almost got the rare 0-3 comeback. So I like the Celtics here in game 3. If they lose this one, hey, we won't be afraid to maybe back them in game 4. But it's been a bizarre round 2, to say the least. And by the way, the odds of all 4 road underdogs winning outright game 1 and round 2 like they did earlier last week was 340 to 1. I went back and ran the true odds for each game. It came out to 0.29%, less than 0.3%, 340 to 1 odds that those 4 road dogs would all win game 1 this round. Hey, look, I've won consistently for 29 years in the NBA playoffs as a professional handicapper, but when a 0.3% outlier occurs, it's going to cause havoc, and that's why we didn't have a good week overall. But once again, I feel like Boston's the better team. Felt like they were the right side in games 1 and 2. Hey, if they don't blow another 20-point lead, I think they get the winning cover minus the 5.5 on Saturday afternoon. Obviously, this is going to correlate to the Celtics hitting their their three-pointers. So the player prop overs for Boston are definitely going to be correlated with the Celtics winning this game. So we'll look at Tatum. A miserable game the other night. 42 minutes, he had 13 points. He was 5 for 19 shooting. And keep in mind, he was only 7 for 23 shooting in game 1 with 23 points. He was 4 for 15 from 3 in game 1, and he was just 1 for 5. So, yes, he is 5 for 20 from three-point range. Jason Tatum over. He is definitely due for a breakout game, and we've seen him do this over the years. He'll have 1 or 2 stinkers, and then he'll go on a run of several overs. He's priced at about 27.5. Keep in mind, shop around. There's always anywhere from 27.5 to 28.5, but right now, 27.5 is available. His season average is right below 27 points a game. And after just 13 and 23 and terrible shooting, he's getting the minutes, he's getting the shot attempts. Shots just aren't falling. I think he'll be back on track. Keep in mind, after coming back from injury, missing game 2 against Orlando, he finished with 36, 37, and 35 in those other 3 playoff games a couple weeks ago. So Jason Tatum points over would make a lot of sense. And obviously, other big-name guys like Jaylen Brown over. He was only 8 for 23 shooting in game 2 would make sense. Tatum and Brown took 42 of their shot attempts. Derek White at 17 shot attempts was only 6 for 17 and only 3 for 11 from 3. So Tatum, Brown, and Derek White got the majority of the shot attempts in game number 2. So if they do break out and hit better on the three-pointers, I think all three of their player props are worth a look over in game 3 on Saturday afternoon. Once again, that's at 3:30 Eastern on ABC. All right, going to get to your late game also on ABC here in just a moment between the Warriors and Timberwolves. But a quick reminder, we got a couple specials going right now at WagerTalk.com this weekend. A site-wide special for the Flex Pass, Flex Picks, where you can purchase a certain number of days. You buy a 7-day pass. You get 7 different cappers any days you want. But right now, you're getting 4 more bonus days. As you see on your screen there, it's buy 7, get 11. It's the 7-11 special. No supersized big gulp or Slurpee included. But once again, buy 7, get 11. And this is a flex pass, which means each day you can use a different capper. So when you see I have a strong NBA and baseball card on a Saturday or Sunday or sometime next week, you can use it for myself, Steve Merril, or somebody else. But once again, if you've been thinking about trying that flex pass, now's a great time. Buy 7, get 11. It is on the deals page. So go to WagerTalk.com and click deals at the top to see that special offer. No promo code needed. And if you'd like to get a more serious investment and consistent investment approach, you know I preach the 1-year all access. And this is such a great time of the year to get on board. Last year, we went on a monster run during the NBA playoffs all through baseball. In fact, by the end of last summer, by the end of August, my clients had already doubled their bankroll up over 100 units. We were up as many as 180 units right after the football season began. Right now, you can get a full year for about $1 a play with promo code SM365. It's an instant $811 discount on the 1-year all sport all access. The reason $811 discount, because that gets it down to exactly $3 a day, and that's just over $1 a play because I average 2 to 3 best bets per day for football, baseball, and basketball, college, and pro. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, promo code SM365. If you're ready to take a serious, consistent investment approach, now is a great time to get on board. You'll get all of next year's college and pro football seasons, all of next year's college basketball season, all of next year's NBA regular season into the playoffs, the rest of this year's playoffs, the majority of this year's baseball season into next year's baseball. 365 days and nights of all sports for just over $1 a play with promo code SM365. Hey, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Get to my page quicker with shortcut WT.buzz/SM. All right, let's look at that nightcap. Also on ABC National TV Saturday night. This one, I believe, goes at 8:30 Eastern, and it is Warriors and T-Wolves. This series is 1-1 because, of course, we saw that road dog Golden State win, one of the 4 that won outright, that 340-1 long shot that occurred a couple nights ago back. I believe it was Tuesday was game 1. But then we saw Minnesota get back on track as expected in game 2, and they blew Golden State out from the start. And there was nothing misleading about it. Stephen Curry is out. Stephen Curry is not expected to be back for several games. In fact, heading into the weekend, it looks like the earliest he might be back from the hamstring injury is game 6. So, of course, that means Golden State needs to steal one of these next 3 games to force at least a 6-game series. Can they do it? We'll see, but I'm not going to bet on them anytime soon without Curry. This was already an aging team. And, yes, he had some up and down games, but he's a superstar. He's still the greatest shooter to ever play. By the way, I posted that question in the last couple videos a couple days ago, and I said, greatest shooter ever. And some of you actually had other opinions. I think Curry is the greatest ever, but Larry Bird came up quite often. Steve Kerr. Dale Ellis was a great call. I'd forgotten about Dale Ellis. Mark Price with the Cavaliers when I was growing up. And, of course, other recent guys also can shoot the long ball. Reggie Miller, another great shooting. And most of those guys were before the three-point heavy era. So if you didn't reply the other day, reply now. Is Stephen Curry the best shooter ever? I think he is, but there's some other great shooters as well. So give me your top 3, your top 5. I do read the comments, and I reply back. But the point is, even an aging 37-year-old Curry is going to be missed. Golden State only scored 93 points. Keep in mind, they only had 99 points in game 1. Minnesota's a very good defensive team, and they were much better than the 6th seed this year. If you look at overall efficiency ratings, they were number 4 net rating in the entire NBA this year, behind Cleveland, Boston, and OKC, the 3 best records in the league. They were top 8 in both offense and defensive efficiency. So Minnesota vastly underachieved this year after that nice run in the NBA playoffs last season. I think part of it was working new pieces in. Obviously, Karl Anthony Towns gone. They bring in Julius Randle, the most overrated big man in the NBA. They've got Gobert still, who I think is a little bit overrated as well. By the way, I'll get to a Gobert prop in a moment. But without Curry, I think the Warriors are up against it. Now, normally I look to back teams off a blowout loss, and the Warriors lost by 24, never in the game. Problem is, I don't consider them a quality team right now without Stephen Curry, so it would be Minnesota or pass for me. Not a great spot here. for the T-Wolves -5. But that'd probably be the only way I'd play it. I actually would like to see the Warriors maybe win the game outright, and then we come back with a strong play on Minnesota then in Game 4 following on Monday. But we'll see how this one plays out. Once again, I think Minnesota's the play, and if they get down early and get an adjusted in-game price, it's even better. Wouldn't be surprised to see them pull ahead in the second half against a shorthanded Golden State squad. As far as the total here, 200.5, very low total. Game 1 was 210. Game 2 without Curry was 202. Obviously, the Warriors team total has gone under in both of those. So that's another way you could attack the total, as it's a little tricky. Such a low number. I do favor Minnesota, but I think Golden State's going to struggle to score against a really good Minnesota defense. All right, let's get to some player props here. I mentioned Gobert. I think he's a vastly overrated superstar, quote unquote, as well. And this is not a good series for him because Golden State is a fairly small team. In fact, Draymond Green, really a power forward, is playing the 5 often. It's not a good matchup for Gobert, and boy, did we see that the other night. Despite 117 points, Gobert only had 5 of them. He only played 27 minutes. He only took 4 shot attempts, and he had 4 free throws, only made 1 of them. And you go back to Game 1, he played 26 minutes, only had 9 points, only got to the free throw line twice, only had 7 field goal attempts. So a lot of times we play the zigzag with player props. We look for a guy like Gobert who had just 5 and 9 points to bounce back. I don't think that's going to occur here. His total in the last couple of games was 9.5 points. Odds makers have bumped it down to 8.5. So once again, we are losing a little bit of value now at 8.5, but it's Gobert under or pass for me. He's just not getting a lot of minutes and shot attempts, and they don't need him out there as much. He's a great defensive player and rebounder, but once again, Golden State's going to play smaller. Even without Curry, they're still a small team, and I just don't think he's going to get a lot of attempts and chances. In fact, in the playoffs overall, if you throw out that one outlier against the Lakers in Game 5 where he had 27 points, and keep in mind the reason that happened is because J.J. Redick and his genius was going to, double-team Edwards every play and just leave Gobert open. That's how much they disrespect the all-star Gobert. He got 27 points because of that. The other 4 games against the Lakers, he had 5 points, 1 point, 6 points, and 2 points. And so far, he's had 9 points and 5 points in this series. So he's had 9 or less in every playoff game except the one where they just literally did not guard him. And his total's at 8.5. So Gobert under, I think, will continue to work. Would be the only way I'd play Gobert in this series. Other guys that might bounce back, Anthony Edwards, of course, was banged up a little in Game 2. They obviously did not miss him. He had 117 points, played only 34 minutes, finished with 20 points, 6 for 6, 13 shooting. Edwards is listed as available and probable with the ankle injury, so he is expected to go. Keep an eye on it, but once again, he is expected to play in game number 3, but could be a little bit limited. So once again, probably stay away from his prop. We're never looking to fade Edwards with an under. We don't fade superstars like that. Randall is interesting. I'm not a big fan of Randall, but he is playing well in this series. And once again, Golden State does not have a lot of size. And since Gobert's not going to do much, Randall could continue to play well. He was 10 for 17 shooting, 24 points in game number 2. Just 4 for 11, but he still got to 18 points. Although I'm not a big Randall fan, it would be over or pass for me with him. And I think Jaden McDaniels is also a guy that will continue to have matchup edges. 6'9", small/power forward. I mentioned him in game 2. He had 16 points. Only took 10 shot attempts, though. But once again, only played 33 minutes. Randall only played 33 because it was a blowout. If they play more minutes, once again, McDaniels, Randall, Edwards, overs are all worth a look. Gobert under. Golden State side is tricky because without Curry, it's going to give more minutes, more shots to other guys. So you got to maybe bump everyone's season averages a little bit. And obviously, Butler and Buddy Hield are going to get the majority of the shots, and that's exactly what we've seen so far in game 2. Game 1, they took, as we talked about in the other video, they took 39 shot attempts, had 44 points. And without Curry at all in game number 2, Butler and Hield combined for 27 shot attempts, 32 points. 28 minutes for Hield, Butler 34 minutes. But once again, it was a blowout, so their minutes were cut a little. Butler and Hield overs would make sense. Over passes, I think they'll do the heavy lifting with Curry out. And Podziemski's a guy that's getting healthier. He was banged up a few games ago. He was 4 for 9, 11 points. I think he might get more shots, more minutes. He only hit 1 3. So Podziemski over for threes or over points could be worth a look as well for Golden State. That's your late game Saturday night, 8:30 Eastern on ABC. Hey, there you go. Deep dive into both NBA playoff games for Saturday. Not a surprise. I've done every NBA playoff game every day since the postseason began, and I will continue to do so. I did every NCAA tournament game from the play-in round through the championship. I've done every NBA playoff game from the play-in round, and I will continue to do so until next month's championship NBA Finals. If you're finding it useful, thumbs up, like, positive comments below, and I will keep doing these videos each and every day for you here on WagerTalk TV. And don't forget, click subscribe. Over 200,000 subscribers. Make sure you click subscribe. I'm sure most of you have. Just double check. But also consider clicking that bell as well, because you'll get an instant alert when this video is posted each and every night. We try to get it up right after midnight for that day's games, so we get it up nice and early for you. And also, I'm doing free baseball videos throughout the week. So whenever you see a free baseball video, if you click subscribe and click that bell for an instant alert, you'll know when it's posted instantly here. You can also follow me on social media on Twitter, X, at Steve Merril. I post the video links on there as well, along with daily free plays, because don't forget, a daily free play is posted on my page at WagerTalk.com. It's quite simple. If I have a best bet, I'm very selective, maybe 2 to 3 best bets on average. If I have a personal best bet, I give it to all my clients. Doesn't matter if you have a 1 day, a 1 week, a 1 month, or a 1 year subscription. Every client gets the exact same plays I'm using each day, same games I've won with consistently for the last 29 years as a full-time professional handicapper. I also am very selective, which means 2 to 3 best bets. That last cut, that remaining opinion that just a bit outside for making the best bet card is still pretty strong. I put that up as a free opinion for everyone. I don't want to waste it, so I put it up for free for everybody with analysis each day on my page at WagerTalk.com. So once again, check out the daily best bets, including some strong plays for Saturday, and also check out that bonus free play every day on my page, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, and get there quicker with shortcut wt.buzz/SM. And while you're there, if you're ready to take a serious investment approach, now's a great time to get on board the 1-year all access. Not only did we get red hot at this exact time last year, number 1 in the NBA last season, over 100 units in baseball profit, number 1 in baseball best bet profit last year as well. It all started right now as we headed into spring into summer. We finished August up over 100 units for all sports clients. We're looking to double our bankroll again this year in 2025. Get on board now and save $811 discount with promo code SM365. You see it on your screen right now. It's an instant $811 discount, because that gets it down to exactly $3 a day, just over $1 a play for every football, baseball, basketball, college, and pro best bet for the next 365 days and nights. Promo code SM365. Go on the right side of my homepage, select the 1-year all access, and use promo code SM365 at checkout for the instant $811 discount. It gets it down to just over $1 a play. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Hey, get there quicker with shortcut wt.buzz/SM. You see it right there in the lower corner. On the way out, once again, you can follow me on social media at Steve Merril. You see that as well on the screen, at Steve Merril, 2 R's, 1 L on X and Instagram. And don't forget, when you could subscribe and click the bell for instant alerts, you also know when the live shows are on, and I will be on Last Call Saturday around 11:30 a.m. Eastern here on the channel live. And if you miss it, no problem. Just like these videos, the shows are archived 24/7. So check out my Last Call segment this Saturday here on WagerTalk TV. And I'll be back tomorrow once again with more NBA free play videos. In the meantime, stay tuned, because you know there's more free play videos on WagerTalk TV coming up right here, coming up next.